Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Yes, sir. Welcome back, baby. Another week. Man, down to the last four teams in the NBA playoffs. I will touch on that, preview it a little bit, talk about it. I'm sure I'll talk about it all week, but today I'll talk about series prices. Tomorrow, once they get kicked off, I will break down each game individually. Also, I want to talk about some NBA coaches got fired after this playoffs, specifically Monty Williams, Burr Nanners, Bernannas. Also, one thing that kind of stuck out to me this weekend watching the NBA over Friday night and Sunday, player development, man. I feel like when I was younger, players got better each year, and there are a few players that do come out and they take their game from good to great, from great to elite. But I feel like it's a lot of players that just every year it's the same story, same moves. Uh, I wanted to touch on that for a little bit, just give my thoughts on player developments and how it's lacking in the National Basketball Association. Also, this whole week, right here on Captain by a Hook, I will be breaking down baseball's first quarter. The first 40 games over the weekend sufficed. A few teams are at 41 right now. Most teams got their 40 games in. I will talk about baseball's first 40 today. It'll be mostly some National League talk. Tomorrow I'll do American League. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I will do specific things, players that have stood out to me, some award markets, stuff like that. And just kind of give the pat on the back to those who deserve it. And to the players that are underachieving, try to light a little fire, a little flame under them. Cardinals, I'm talking to you. Believe it or not, I still like the Cardinals to win the World Series this year. That's a running joke that I do believe in, though. But anyway, I will touch on that also throughout the week. That'll be some fun. This is Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives, going live on a beautiful Monday, May 15th, halfway through the month. This month is flying by. Oh, yeah. Speaking of flying by, Monty Williams, the newest member of the fired coaches that got fired after losing in the playoffs this season. Milwaukee's coach got fired also after they had the first round exit against the Miami Heat. The Bucks one was surprising because I feel like the Suns and the Bucks, and yes, they played in the same finals that same year, so a lot of these are gonna go back to that finals for both of them. So I'm gonna say that and then touch on each one individually. But one team wins the finals, of course, the Bucks, and then another team that loses, Monty Williams and the Suns. The Bucks getting rid of their head coach at the same time. Both of these teams getting rid of their head coach at the same time. They both, for the most part, got the same core, the same players: Booker and Paul, Ayton. The Bucks still got Middleton, Giannis. It's crazy how short the leash is. It's like I think teams for the Bucks side of things now. I think teams they're so hungry and eager to be remembered. Uh, And we've seen in the past teams like the Pistons who did win 2 in a row still not get the same amount of respect as teams like the Lakers in the 80s who won 5 and the Celtics who won 3 and of course the Bulls in the 90s and then Kobe doing his thing and then the Spurs teams and then of course you got the Warriors. I think the Bucks are so hungry to be that team that they're like, man, we wanted 2 or 3 in the same few years. We don't want to just get that one ring and be forgotten about. Although it will be remembered, it was Giannis' breakout season pretty much as far as becoming a national superstar and delivering. But it is crazy, man. I wonder why they're going that direction. I guess a first round exit does scream very loud. As far as Monty Williams' case, the Suns and the Bucks, however, though, both in very similar situations before these coaches. Also need to remember that. The Bucks didn't have a lot of success early 2000s and early 2010s, even with Giannis. Um, I didn't even think about that. I got the Suns up. Let me pull this Bucks up. So before you get Bud, of course they had the stint with Jason Kidd, which they had some playoff. They've had some playoff seasons. They're a little better than the Suns when you go back before Bud. A bunch of 44, 38, 42, and 40 seasons. But they did have that one 15 and 67 season. You get Bud in his first season, you're 60 and 22, 56 and 17. There's really no drop off. Even the year you win the championship, you're 46 and 26. You lose in the Eastern Conference Finals once, and then you lose in the semis twice, and you lose in the first round. 5 seasons. If you give a franchise like the Bucks, same thing I'm gonna say about the Suns and Monty Williams. And I don't mean to drag this on too much, but it's crazy to me how NBA teams are just getting rid of coaches so fast and so easy. His 5 years with the team, he's never missed the playoffs. They've been at the top of the East. Like I said, I think it's that hunger and thirst for like we need more than one ring in this 5 year span. It's crazy to me. Same thing with Monty Williams though. They didn't even get the ring, so it's a little different on that part. But before Monty Williams, you have 4 seasons, Phoenix, and I know y'all remember these 4 seasons. You have 4 seasons. Don't even win 25 games. 21, 19, 23, 24. Can't even get to 25 wins in 4 seasons. Monty Williams comes around. Y'all have one season where y'all still struggle. Go into the bubble, get some momentum. Y'all finally, I think, bought into what he was saying. Uh, Boom. Next season, you're in the finals. Come up short. Next 2 seasons, some pieces fall apart. I think the Kevin Durant trade not working out, getting blamed on Monty Williams a little too much than it is. However, it's crazy to me how fast these coaches are getting fired. That's the whole point of the rant. Last 4 teams left in the NBA. We've seen a couple teams get eliminated last week. The Knicks, the Warriors. Sunday, the 76ers and the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns, kind of a different story. I'm not going to talk about them much in this, but a lot of these players and that teams that just lost in the second round, their superstars even haven't really improved over the last decade of playing basketball. You look at players like Joel Embiid and James Harden, who James Harden mentally looks like he's understanding the game better, but now we need that better combo of when you can attack and drop 30 and when you sit back and drop 20 assists. But whatever you choose to do, it needs to be at that level of 30 points or 15 plus assists. You can't just say I'm playing in the flow of the game and come out with 18 and 8. That's not, and I don't even know what his record stats was yesterday. But just the way you play, you got to be great at whatever you choose to do. Joel Embiid, MVP, clap. You got your MVP. You got your little trophy that you can bring home to moms. But I haven't really ever seen you get better. You haven't lost, came back in better shape, came back stronger, came back with some new moves. You kind of just keep coming back with the same mentality, the same what looks like body build, the same moves. And it's a lot of players like that. That's why I'm talking about NBA player development being lost. Even role players. I look at the Knicks and you see players like Mitchell Robinson, and he had a great season, heck of a season. But I just want to see him evolve. I want to see him focus coming to next season even better. It's one of the things I miss about the NBA is watching guys get better and better and better. You look at the Warriors with Jordan Poole, everybody figured him out. Now it's like, now you need to adjust. What's the next move you're going to go through? These players are just off the top of my head that I saw. Um, DeAndre Ayton. It's like every team has that one player that just doesn't look like they really improved over their NBA career. They came in like this. And of course, Joel put in a lot of work. He had the injuries early. He did turn himself into an MVP caliber player. Uh, just when you're going to take that next step, get to that next level, it's rare to see, rare to find these days. We all watch Kevin Durant and LeBron James go from that young player with all the talent to boom, figuring it out. All of a sudden, now they're in better shape. They look different. They move different. Everything's more precise. I need to see that from more players in the NBA, man. We watched Steph Curry go from the little scrawny kid ball into okay, it's time to win. Let me get in the best shape I can get in. Let me figure out what I need to figure out to figure it out. Now you figure it out. Lil Wayne, if you don't know, now you know. But what we do have out of all of those people that I just mentioned, we have winners. Yes, there were 4 teams that won in the second round. We have the Miami Heat taking on the Boston Celtics. Ooh wee! I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm taking the Heat in this series. You giving me plus 370? I'm taking the Heat and I'm riding. Let's go Heat, baby. I don't know why this thing keep freezing. If it's freezing, I apologize. If it's just buffering on my end and rolling cool, then great. Uh, but you can get Miami Heat plus 370. I'm all over that. Haha, my dog. JC Peasy just got to this, man. Boston Celtics minus 500. It's hard to even bet the Celtics, even if I like them to win at minus 500. Even if I do like the Celtics, which it's hard not to say the Celtics. I don't know. I do like Heat in 6 or 7. As my man JCP just put in the chat. I think the Heat on a mission this year. I know it's weird to say that, but sometimes they just look even better than they could ever look, and they look like the best team in the East. The last 2 rounds, beating the Bucks and the Knicks. Celtics struggling with the 76ers. And once they turned it on in Game 7, we realized, and Game 6, like, they're 10 times better than the Sixers. Why were they struggling with them? Same thing in the first round with the Hawks. They're 10 times better than the Hawks. Why did that series go to 6? The Miami Heat are more in killer mode, whereas the Celtics are kind of just getting by, turning it on when they need to. We saw Jason Tatum, 50-point plus. Amazing. Should have shut the Hawks out in 4 or 5. Should have shut the Sixers out in 4 or 5 also. But it was a great Game 7. Just to have a Game 7, a great game, that's an exaggeration. Even watching it, I was not staring at the TV after the third quarter. And then on the west side, baby, the best side, you got the Lakers taking on the Nuggets. Nuggets minus 152 as the favorite. When we gonna learn, man? When are we gonna learn? LeBron James and the Lakers at plus money is ridiculous in the playoffs, man. I don't care how old he is. He's just got it, man. Whatever it is, especially this season. Last 2 months, I said it on Friday. Lakers are one of the best teams in the league, even coming into the playoffs the month before. They've been in playoff mode for 2 months. I do think the Nuggets are the better team if you just throw the ball out there in January with nothing on the line and tell them to go play. But it's something about this Lakers team, man. I don't even know. It's like a mental thing. They finally locked in. AD versus Joker, though, is the only concern. You kind of just think at some point the Joker's going to wear Anthony Davis down and he might not play for 2 or 3 games in this series, and then you end up with just LeBron trying to do it all on his own. Now, mind you, one thing that has happened in the past with this Denver Nuggets team that can still happen this season with this Denver Nuggets team is that nobody shows up except for the Joker. We saw it in 1 or 2 games against the Suns, even where Jamal Murray had an off shooting night and the Joker goes for 53 and still loses. I can see that happening if AD is healthy and he's mentally there and he doesn't allow the Joker to beat him up physically. So if AD plays healthy every game, I lean towards the Lakers at plus 120. Also, I don't trust the Nuggets, man. As much as I love Jamal Murray, love the kid. I think he's going to disappear 1 or 2 games when they need him most. I think some of these other players like Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., I just think the moment's too big for some players. And we watched it happen with the Nuggets over and over again. Now, history does tell you the Nuggets hit their head on this wall a few times over the last 5 to 10 seasons with this same core, getting to the Western Conference getting to the Western Conference Finals, semifinals of the whole league. But hitting their head on this wall a couple times and not being able to get through. So history does say that this is when you should get through. You got an old LeBron, beat up AD. This is your chance for the Nuggets to get in and get right. I'm probably going to stay away from a series price and just bet this game more by game to game. With the Heat and Celtics, I'm probably just going to take this Heat plus 370 and not really touch the game to game at all aspect of it. Man, it's just so hard to call some of these Eastern Conference matchups game to game. I feel like the West is a little easier to ride game to game, especially Lakers, Nuggets. I think the Nuggets could take at home. I think the Lakers are going to steal 1 in Denver, but I think you're pretty safe to take game 1 and 2 Nuggets at home. Once it gets to 5 and 7, you could probably take the Lakers for an upset. And I think the Lakers get 3 and 4 at home. So I'm going to probably ride that trend and just hope it gets to 2-2 at the end of 4 and we can ride it on out and maybe take LeBron at some plus money in a game 5 or game 7 situation. It's probably how I'm going to play that series, definitely. So one's going to be a game, one's going to be a little step by step. Move on to the diamond, baby. This is Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dives. First 40 games are in on the baseball diamond. Today I will be strictly talking about, I'll probably do 5 to 10 minutes every day on the first 40 games for this week. This will be the first quarter report cards, first quarter recaps, first quarter breakdowns. Like I said earlier, today I'll do the National League, the NL. Tomorrow I will do the AL, which probably means tomorrow I'll also talk, because I'm probably going to talk through some things today, tell you my favorites to make it to the playoffs and my favorites to make a playoff run to maybe even make it to the World Series. So tomorrow, once I have both sides of that, I might talk a little bit who I think wins it all very early. I will do this again at 80 games, and it'll probably be different teams. I'll do it again at 120. I just like doing these little intervals. Last season, I think it was around this time. I think it was June, though. It was like 20 more games into the season. I picked the Astros after not picking them this first 60 games. But I saw something in them. They went to New York, beat the Yankees and the Mets. And out of those 6 games, they came out 5-1. I said, this team's winning the World Series. So that's why I do this type of break catch-ins every 40 games. So maybe we can take advantage of some future spots on a few different teams and end up with maybe 3 or 4 different teams that we ride come playoff time. But in the National League, I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to start in the Central. National League Central. This has one of my most disappointed teams of the season so far. However, I see light at the end of the tunnel for them. The St. Louis Cardinals are in last place in the National League Central. However, they're only 7.5 games back from the Bucks, still very early in the season. They're on a 3-game winning streak. Hey now, let's get them wins rolling, baby. Get them wins rolling. They're only -10 in the run differential, which means they're losing a lot of close ones. That can switch at any time, and they end up going only 16-25. They can end up going 25-16 over the next 30 with that slight switch flip. And next thing you know, they're 500 going into the middle of July. So the craziest pick I'll ever give you on the show is Cardinals at a long shot ticket to not only win the division, but win the championship. I mean, go to the World Series, out of the National League, win the National League, win the championship. Cardinals is one of my sleeper favorites that I'm probably going to regret, but I'm going to end up with way too much money on the Cardinals come July. So that I'm going to be riding them the second half of the season. But in this division, you got Milwaukee in first place, which is the team I gave out beginning of the season, was the Brewers to win this division. They have a 1.5 game lead over the surprising, amazing Pittsburgh Pirates. Sheesh, if the season ended today, we'd end up with the Pirates in a wild card spot, which I'd love to see it, love to hear it, especially with McCutchen going back for his end of the I don't know if he's retiring this season or if he has 2 or 3 more seasons, but I love that he's back in Pittsburgh where he got that MVP about a decade ago. And then you got the Cubs, who it feels like they've been a bright spot, but they're 4 games back in the middle of the pack, only 3 games above the Cardinals, who's in last place. The Cubs 19-21. I think they're gonna end up just keep falling. As much as they've been good and they had the few amazing starts from Stroman, a little win streak at the beginning of the season, I think they end up towards the bottom of this division. I think the Reds end up uptrending right behind them. They're at 18-22. I think this division ends up still, and I know it's crazy to say, Brewers, Cardinals fighting for that top spot, and then whichever one doesn't get the top spot, fighting with Pittsburgh for that second spot, and then you're going to end up seeing so let's just say Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, Cardinals, or Milwaukee, Cardinals, Pittsburgh, and then you're going to have the Reds, and I think the Cubs end up in last place. But so far, it's been just amazing to watch this division specifically. The Reds and the Cubs have both been in every game pretty much. They only lose by 1 if they lose, and when they win, it's dramatic. I love watching this division play. Pittsburgh, even with O'Neal Cruz going out, has kept the boat rolling. And then the Brewers, everybody said this would be a down year for the Brewers. They'd be selling all their pitchers. They have been on all cylinders, firing away. Currently on a 3-game win streak. Cardinals currently on a 3-game win streak. Last 10, 6-4. I'm telling you, don't sleep on St. Louis. NL East, baby. Whew. Stinking up the joint. The New York Mets. I'm not even going to sell you anything I just sold you like they're the Cardinals. New York Mets, I'm not buying. But I'm still betting every day. But I'm not buying long term. Hopefully they can get right, and I might change my mind at the 80-game mark. But right now, sitting at 20-21, pretty much fully healthy. You've had some pitcher injuries. You've had some ups and downs with pitchers, so I get it. If you don't have consistency at the pitching on the mound, everything kind of fall apart. But 20-21, same record as the Marlins, unacceptable for the Mets. As a Mets fan, I just say that. You got the Atlanta Braves, looks like one of the best teams in the country on a 4-game losing streak. How about that? Still one of the best teams in the country. This team's lost 4 games in a row, still has a 5-game lead over the Philadelphia and a 5.5-game lead over the Marlins and the Mets. Love what Atlanta's doing. Love those bats. Love the pitching. I love everything on this Braves team. This Braves might be my favorite out of the National League as of now. There's a team I'm going to talk about in the West that I think is scary. Hey, now, you never know now. Cardinals and a team that I'm going to talk about both just need one more pitcher. So I will talk about this in a second. But Braves, just as far as on paper, flat out, They got to be my favorite right now to come out of the National League. Um, but watch out, because in the NL West, we all know who's lurking. You got the Los Angeles Dodgers. Struggled. Not gonna lie, they struggled the first month and a half of the season. However, 5 game winning streak, 8-2 in their last 10, plus 56 on the point differential, the highest point differential in the National League. Atlanta in second with 52. Dodgers plus 56, baby, on the run differentials, 26 and 15. However, they only have a 3 game lead in the NL West. And behind them is the mighty San Diego. What? Arizona. Arizona Diamondbacks in second place of the National League. And 3 games. I just want to be there if they did to say, I told you so. I love what these Diamondbacks are doing. I definitely think they're going to be a wild card team. I don't think they catch. I think they stay with the Dodgers all season. I don't think they ever fully catch them. San Diego Padres, I don't think they get right. I never think the San Diego Padres are going to get right. I'm tired of talking myself into the fact that the San Diego Padres are going to get right. They have lost 5 in a row, currently 19 and 22, 7 games back from the Dodgers, 4 games back from the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks have done everything right this season so far. Second in defensive runs saved. They're first in the National League in runs scored, first in the National League in batting average. They're also pretty much third in every other category. Don't let these young pitchers turn out to be as good as they could be. There's 4 young cats on this pitching staff, and Brandon Pfaadt, Tommy Henry, Ryan Nelson, and your boy Dre Jamison. If just 2 of these guys turn into some solid big league pitchers, that gives you Gallen, Kelly, 2 studs, and a bullpen that's still growing together. Take that 5th guy, maybe put him in the bullpen as a closer. That's really all this team's missing is a closer. They need to either make a trade for pitching or hopefully betting on these young guys works out come August, September, October. But man, I am geeked about these Diamondbacks. Not gonna lie to you. Not going to lie to you. So I think this Dodgers, Brewers, Braves, I think they win the division. I think they're going to be the top dogs in the NL. I think Braves and Dodgers are going to fight for that top spot. Only 1 game difference right now between the two. Both have 15 losses. Dodgers have 1 more win. And then behind them, I think you're going to have the Brewers. And then in the wild card, I think it's going to end up being Cardinals, Phillies, or Mets. It's going to be Cardinals or Pirates, Phillies, or Mets. I think the Diamondbacks take it in the NL West. And like I said, the Diamondbacks are going to be a scary team come playoffs if they get into some of these series. Their bats are electric. This youth they have in the field, in the outfield, and in their charisma and how they play together. Electric team, man. If the pitcher can hold up, watch out for these Diamondbacks. This is Captain by a Hook. That's my first 40 of the National League. First 40 breakdown. I'll break it down. I'll break it down. Wow. Tomorrow I will touch on the American League for sure. Just to keep going about the Diamondbacks real quick before I get into my bets for tonight. They play the A's the next few games, so stack up them wins, baby. Stack them up. I said stack up them wins. They took 3 out of 4 from the Giants over the weekend. Are they my favorite team? I don't know. White Sox sure as hell ain't. Kidding. White Sox will always be my team. Which means I got to pick a team like the Diamondbacks to root for every year. This guy is hilarious. Looking at the Diamond today, I have my guy pitching against the Mets that I always love to fade, Patrick Corbin. Today, give me the Mets on the run line. Plus money. Sorry, let me get to my bet slip. Mets on the run line. They got a beautiful victory yesterday. They'll get one today, and they'll get this win streak rolling. The Mets, baby. The Mets are back. Can't stop or won't stop a Rockefeller Records. You got your boy Otani on the mound for the Angels. So always a good look when you're looking at them. However, they are playing the beautiful Baltimore Orioles. I'm gonna stay away from that one. But if I had to pick a side, I'd take the Orioles at home on the plus money line. Matter of fact, I am gonna do that. Orioles plus 114 on the money line. You know what? I'm not gonna do that. Sorry. I told myself last week it's time to flip the switch on the Orioles. We're in fade Orioles mode. So I'm just going to stay away because I would never bet on the Angels. I'm kidding. I bet on them never. Sometimes, maybe once, twice a season. Mariners, Red Sox. Red Sox still one of the hottest teams in baseball. Mariners still big trash. I'd go Red Sox. Let me see. You can get Red Sox at home plus 104. Home plus money just feels right. But you know that ain't right. But I love the Red Sox. I think they put up a hanging 7 or 8 on the Mariners. Leave them in the dust. Mariners get about 4 or 5, but too little, too late. I also have an amazing matchup that I love. Braves Rangers. I can't wait to watch that one. Not gonna bet it. Brewers Cardinals. Let me get the Cardinals getting hot at the right time. Give me the Cardinals. Minus 107 on the money line at home against the Brewers. They're going to win 7 straight at least. They've won 3 in a row already. Give me them to win 4 more in a row and prove me right. Cubs, Stros, struggling. Cubs doing the same. So, what do you do? Astros won 2 or 3 straight. Give me the there. Slap it down, move it around. Give me the Stros minus 1.5. I think they win big, 6-2, 5-1. I think it's about 4-point victory right there. Stros, Cubs at home. Stros get right. Reds, Rockies definitely staying away from anything in Colorado. D-backs, baby. I'm trying to tell you like I'm snitching. Give me the D-backs. You got to pay a little juice to get the run line, but it will taste beautiful at midnight. Late game. West Coast, baby. Royals, Padres. Whew. Man, this is when it's hard not to take the Padres, but I'm going to talk myself out of it, staying off of it. Phillies, Giants. I'm going to stay away from that one tonight. I might look to take the Phillies the next 2 games. Why not tonight then, you say? I don't know. Just doesn't feel like the right spot with a Falter taking on Alex Wood, even though left-hand pitching. Philly's got a lot of lefties. I think Wood can hold them up, keep them to a halt. Then you got the Twins taking on the Dodgers. Twins, believe it or not, have been hot. Dodgers have been hotter. Give me the Dodgers minus 115 at home. Those will be the bets. I know. I just filled them up. Spraying the board, as one of my favorite guys, Nick Costos, likes to say. Give me the Mets on the run line, on the money line. Give me the Cardinals on the money line. Give me the Astros on the run line. Give me the D-backs on the run line. And then give me the Dodgers on the money line. Dodgers, D-backs, Stros, Cardinals, Red Sox, Mets. 6 games today, baby. It's Monday. Let's start this week off on a good note. Yeah, this is Captain By a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dives. I'm sorry if it's been lagging. I really don't know what's going on. I will check on it. Hopefully I'm not skipping, because it's skipping on my end. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Hey, take all wagers at your own risk, and please, please gamble responsibly. Dives.